That's not supposed to happen. So today I was supposed to tell you how I fixed the turkey scalder, but I can't do that because I didn't fix it. I ended up giving up and ordering more parts to be installed later. So maybe I'll show that, maybe not. What I am going to show you is how to use the turkey scalder, even though I don't have one. I had to move to my backup burner. Coincidentally, that one was broken too, but it proved to be a pretty simple fix, and it's actually a really good example because it's similar to what most people will use for scalding turkeys or chickens in their backyard. It's essentially a small propane burner with a large pot on top. My pot's a little bit larger than most, it's about 28 gallons. I will go ahead and show you how I use that, just a quick little video of scalding turkeys. The reason I'm going to show you this is, first of all, some people eat turkeys. This is a known fact that at least once a year, most people have turkey. And most people don't like feathers on the turkey when they eat it. And so in order to get those feathers off, you have to scald it and dip it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Before we get into that, let me show you some of my very scientific methods for troubleshooting my Featherman Scalder. The reason I wanted to use this scalder is because it manages the temperature for me, and I don't have to constantly check the temperature and adjust the flame and all of that stuff. It's super important to get the temperature just right, otherwise it's not going to pluck properly, and you're going to regret it because you're going to be pulling out feathers for hours. So, supposed to depress that, and then son of a biscuit. Now I'm going to plug the hole with my thumb, which may be a bad idea, and turn it on and see if I can find any leaks elsewhere. So if in my next video I'm missing a thumb, you'll know what happened. At this point, I pretty much spent way too much time taking everything apart and poking everything individually before I finally gave up and ordered a brand new thermostat fluid regulator and heat sensor. Hopefully that'll do the trick when it's all connected up. For now, we'll just use the backup, and I'll show you how to do it backyard style. The one advantage to not having the Featherman Scalder is it's one less heavy and awkward thing to haul out to the farm for the processing. We still have to get the plucker on the truck, but we'll use the forklift for that and head out to the farm to scald some birds. Scalding your turkeys properly, and chickens as well, is the most important, the number one most important thing you can do to make it edible. And the reason for that is other mistakes that you make are a lot easier to recover from. If you make a mistake in evisceration, you can hydrate a lot, spray it out, rinse it really well. If you make a mistake with the culling of the bird or the equipment or anything like that, it's a lot easier to recover from that. If you don't scald the bird properly, you don't have a chance to redo that bird. Okay guys, so this is super important. We need to start with the temperature at 147.5 or 147 if your thermometer doesn't get that detailed. So the reason we start there is because
We can adjust up or down based on the results that we get. If we start to get tearing skin, we can adjust down. If it's not scalding to the point of the feathers coming out easily, we can bump the temperature up. If we're having to dip too many times, we can bump the temperature up. Or if it's going too fast and we're worried that it's not going to be in there long enough, we can turn the temperature down. But you have to have that starting point. So 147.5, write that down. That's super important. Once you've confirmed that the temperature is just right for scalding your bird, you can go ahead and start with your first 35-second dip. We don't want to do any more than 35 seconds because then you risk burning the skin and having trouble plucking or tearing the skin in the plucker.
The fallout of that is also a lot more dramatic. So you have things like skin tearing, overcooked meat, quills that just won't come out. You've got lots and lots of labor involved in pulling all the feathers out if you do end up having to do most of the work. So the plucker is important, the evisceration table is important, the culling station is important, but scalding the bird is the most important thing to make it a beautiful, presentable, tasty bird at the end of it.
Take a look at how I'm swishing the bird around in the pot. This helps to get all of the hot water up against the skin and in between the feathers where it can be the most effective. Doing multiple dips allows us to scald the bird as long as possible without damaging it. I didn't record the plucking this time, but here's some footage from an old video that shows how a well-scalded bird should pluck. If you look closely, you'll see how few feathers are left on the bird, but there's still no torn or bruised skin. Each time I pull the bird out of the pot, I'll let it cool down for a few seconds and test one of the tough wing feathers to see if it slides out easily. That allows the bird to cool off and lets me know how close we are to scalding completely. It looks like this bird is just about ready to go.
Alright, you guys, that's all I've got for that video. A huge thanks to Jason and Jordan for letting me film that at their farm. Their turkeys were beautiful. They even sent me home with the turkey. So I haven't tasted it yet, but I know it's going to be delicious. If that was interesting or entertaining for you, or maybe even helpful if you've got a turkey of your own to scald, then go ahead and subscribe, give me some comments, and hopefully we'll give you some more useful information. I promise we won't just break things and goof off. Every once in a while we will give you interesting information. So, alright, I'll see you on the next video, and thanks for watching.